Okay, so we are inside of this brand new 2022 Ram 1500 Limited Crew Cab 4-wheel drive 10th anniversary truck. And this is 10th anniversary for the limited package truck. So the limited trucks have been out since 2012 and it's 2022. And we're gonna take this thing for a drive so I can give you my impressions on what I think it's like. And keep in mind, I've spent a lot of time in Ram trucks. I've been to a lot of the media events. I've had several media loaner trucks before. And in my opinion, they have always been the smoothest riding half-ton trucks on the market. Some of the newer trucks from both General Motors and Ford have gotten better. Some are really, really good, but nothing has been as smooth as Ram trucks so far. And with the air suspension in all 4 positions on this truck, I imagine it's probably going to be even smoother than what I've driven in the past. Plus, you know, they're always tweaking things every year, and this is the newest version of this truck. I'm excited to see how it performs. Then drop the suspension down a little bit. I forgot that I had it at its highest setting. Put it about halfway down because this does have air suspension that you can adjust the height of. Okay, got a bit of a dip right here. All right. Go next to the RV. God, this truck just handles bumps so well. Craziness here. This truck is insanely smooth. I'm not even kidding you. It is ridiculous how smooth this truck is. All right, let's take this thing out on the road. So the first road we're going to take it out on here is a stupid rough road. Throws you around in my 450. To be honest with you, man, it handles this road like a luxury sedan. Don't get me wrong, you can still feel that this is a crappy road and it's just not the greatest, but boy, does this dampen it. I mean, you can barely hear my voice changing. If I was in my truck right now, you probably couldn't understand what I was saying because it'd be rattling me around so much. Very smooth ride, very good handling. Just a very nice truck to drive. It just handles bumps, handles ruts, handles everything very, very well. And I've been a big fan of these since they came out. And you guys probably know I wasn't a huge Ram fan for a long time. And, you know, ever since I've gotten behind the wheel of some of these newer trucks, it's just completely come full circle. And now these are some of the best riding trucks, some of the best equipped trucks I've ever been in. I don't really think there's much that you can get that's going to outdo something like this. And because of the template they've used on the interior of this truck, it's really one of those things that they can keep evolving with. They don't have to make a lot of huge changes because it's such a great platform that they can keep adding technology to it without needing to change everything around because they already have the large screen. They already have a lot of the real estate and area that you might need typically to be able to add features later down the road. And this is a bumpy road, and you guys can probably tell it's not really bouncing me around a lot. I mean, I feel very well planted. It definitely feels closer to a luxury sedan or luxury SUV than any pickup truck I've been in. Now, pickup trucks have definitely gotten better. They are starting to feel more like luxury SUVs, but of all of them, this one has gotten by far the closest, and they've done such a great job in terms of refining the ride and making this even better than it's even been in the past. It's just such a wonderful vehicle to drive. This is absolutely something you could spend a lot of time in on the road. You could easily take something like this cross country and get to where you're going relatively refreshed, not feeling like the vehicle was the reason why you're worn out. And there's a lot to be said for that, considering pickup trucks were never really considered to be that type of a vehicle. So when you can get something like this and have that feeling, it's always a good thing. And they've done such a great job with this, it's just hard to find anything negative to really say about it. And you know, when you review trucks and you do a lot of trucks and you get into trucks, it's hard to be impressed anymore. It's hard to hop into a pickup truck and go, wow, this thing's so different than any of the other trucks I've been in. You become kind of desensitized to pickup trucks because, again, they all tend to kind of feel the same. They're all doing the same thing. But getting in this truck, it's just really cool to actually be in a truck that feels continuously refined. Again, if I had to figure out a critique for this vehicle, I would probably say the only one I could think of off the top of my head is just the screen size. The fact that as technologically advanced as it is, and how you have so many great features and so many different things you can see, especially that navigation view, in my opinion, screen sizes in general are just getting a little bit too large. Anytime you have a screen that you have to kind of swipe through menus to take a look at information, you run into a scenario where you're paying a lot of attention to the screen. And for me, it's just not something I prefer. I like to be able to just reach for something I need right away and handle it. And I know manufacturers are dealing with that with systems like Uconnect and Sync and all these other systems that are out there that give you the ability to talk to your vehicle and control things through your voice. But I would venture to say very few people probably use those features, and most people would probably look at, you know, using standard features that they've always used, buttons and knobs and things that they can reach for just with muscle memory and make a change on the fly without having to actually look at the physical screen. But I'd love your feedback on that. What do you guys think about that? Whenever you are driving a vehicle, especially these newer vehicles, do you prefer to have more information on a touch screen, or do you prefer to have buttons and knobs and textile things that you can actually press and get a feel whenever you press it? Please leave a comment below. That's always been something that's important to me to know. Now, I don't want a small screen. I mean, I don't want like a 6 or 7 inch screen, but an 8 or 9 inch screen for me is perfectly fine. A 12-inch screen is just much, much larger than I think is practical, at least for my application. It looks beautiful. Again, there's so much information you can get from these screens, but you know, at the end of the day, do you really need it all on a touch screen? But I'd love to hear from you. I'm sure the manufacturers would love to hear from you, so leave a comment below. And that's really the reason why they even have vehicles like this, press vehicles, for the whole purpose of me giving you my feedback on things I like about the truck and you providing your feedback on things that you think could be done a little bit differently. But yeah, you know, big takeaways on this truck, the fact that it has the smoothest, most comfortable ride of any half-ton pickup truck I've ever been in, period. It has a really good payload capacity, to be honest. At, you know, 1,350 pounds, that's pretty dang impressive considering the level of trim on this truck. It being a limited 10th anniversary with all sorts of bells and whistles and even little things that add incrementally small amounts of weight, but still at the end of the day, it all adds up. A lot of these super high trim trucks from manufacturers only have like 1,100 pounds worth of cargo capacity because so much technology, so much features, so many amenities just add weight to the base weight of the truck, and it takes away from your payload capacity. But this is done pretty well. They've done a lot of really, really great things to give you some capacity back. The air suspension is wonderful. Now, you know, 10 years down the road, if you have a failure, I have absolutely no idea what it would cost to repair the air suspension on this truck. But as it stands right now, it's super comfortable, works really well. The ability to adjust the height is going to come in handy for a lot of folks, especially if you're driving through inclement weather, you need to go through sand, you go to the beach, things like that. The splitting tailgate in the back, I could see myself using it. I don't know how much I would use it. I don't think it's needed, but it is kind of cool. But again, something else that you just have to keep an eye on over time. Folding mirrors, I would love if they were power folding up in terms of going from standard to towing mirrors. I think that would be absolutely great. I'm waiting for Ram to do it. Anyways, guys, please leave your feedback below. I've really enjoyed driving this truck around, and I'd love to know what you guys think about it as well. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon. Okay, so we're about to hit the roughest part of all this coming up. This is the part that normally starts hurting your back and everyone starts complaining right here. Dips down a little bit. To be one of the smoothest riding vehicles I've ever been in, even from a luxury car